What's going on, guys? Curve you guys here. My name is AJ, and this week we have spent some time with the ultimate Jeep Wrangler, aka the 2025 Jeep Wrangler Rubicon 392. That's right, naturally aspirated V8. And I got to tell you, this thing sounds good. Right now, just for walking around it, we're going to have the valves closed. We'll open them up. We'll show you. Also made a short on a cold start. I got to tell you, this thing, funny enough, it scared me the first time it started. I did not expect the Jeep to sound the way it does, and it sounds good. This coming from a supercar owner that loves V8s, V10s, V12s, all of the fuel, right? Nonetheless, if you are new to my channel, over 24,000 subscribers, thank each and every one of you. We are going to start with a cinematic, usually around 60 seconds. Then we're going to go around the exterior, stats, figures, stuff I feel like you guys would want to know. We'll jump on into the interior, and then we'll be taking it on a drive, and it is a fun one for sure. So without further ado, let's get right on into this full review. Let's roll. Hopefully you all enjoyed that cinematic. Alrighty, this Jeep Wrangler 392 is a 6.4 liter naturally aspirated V8 pushing 470 horsepower and 470 pound-feet of torque. Transmission is an 8-speed auto. Drivetrain is 4-wheel drive high all the time. The curb weight is around 5,268 pounds, and it's going to be pushing it from 0 to 60 in roughly 4.5 to 4.9 seconds. Max towing is around 3,500 pounds. MPG is 13 city, 16 highway with a combined average of 14. So not exactly the most fuel efficient vehicle, but that's not what this is made for. Gas tank size is 21.5 gallons. Now, let's touch on the vehicle dimensions. Overall length, you're at around 15.7 feet. Width, you're around 6.1 feet without the mirrors. Ground clearance is about 11.6 inches, and height overall is 74.5 inches. Pricing starts at around $100,590. That's on the Rubicon 392. Tester today is around $108,475, including the destination charge. So while we are back here, let's go ahead and take a look. So obviously you have the big tire on here. You have the camera located there in the middle, and then you can simply go here. You can see it even has the unlock feature. You can see it lighten up. You can lock it on there. However, you open this up, and you can see here you've got a few different things. You can see the 6.4 liter has the wheelbase, overall length, which you can see 192.5. That's with the rear tire, so a little bit longer, including that. And then it's just a cool little plaque there for the final edition. And then my tester today does have the optional air compressor that's located there. And then this essentially looks like a little tray. It looks like it folds down for, you know, it looks like little cutouts for maybe cup holder, I would guess, 2 of them there. Nonetheless, you can also take this, flip this up. Again, if you've seen any Jeep, all of this is very, very normal. They've kept that. Now, this does have the removable side windows here, and you can see there is a carrying case for those. If we were to pull this up, you're going to notice here, they have thought about everything. You can see the door hinges. If you were to take the doors off, you can put them located there, little bolts and everything like that, so it doesn't go sliding around. Which is a good thing. Jack under there as well. And then of course, as always, I will put here on the screen the cubic feet for the seats up and down. Let's just keep working our way around here. This is you can literally hear it, hopefully. Metal, solid construction, which is nice here on the driver's side. Obviously rear bumper as well. You have the recovery tow points on the rear. And then of course it is equipped with all-terrain tires, and they're definitely not small. You can see located right there, 315/70/17. I believe they're 35-inch tires, if I'm not mistaken. And they're obviously big, and you have room actually to go a little bit bigger aftermarket if you'd like. You have some rock sliders located here. You can use it as a step bar, I guess, but it is definitely on the smaller side for a step bar. The mirrors are just a plain black, and again, they can come off, so that's probably why there's no 360 camera, but there is a front and rear camera. But they are heated with blind spot monitoring. Again, you can see the final edition badging located there. And then on the 392, it's gonna let you know, right? You have a hood scoop here, and it's, you know, got the nice little bubble, which definitely looks good, the raised hood. And then of course the 392 out there. And it is equipped with all LED lighting. Now on this 2025, you also have this steel bumper out on the front, and then you also have the Warn winch. This whole setup right here is around 300 extra pounds is my understanding. So of course, if you really wanted, you could take it off to save some weight, but it is nice to have all of those things, especially if you're going off-road. It also has sway bars that can connect and disconnect, again, if you're going off-road. And then it also has the lockers as well. Now, that's pretty much everything on the exterior. Let's go ahead and step on into the rear. I'm 5'9", if you're new to my channel, and I test getting in every single vehicle. And thankfully, there is a handle located right there because it's a step up for me. I'll try to show, like, I don't know if you can even see, like literally the door is coming up to like almost my hip. So whenever I step up, I am literally like really stretching. And then you just kind of, it's not all that graceful. It's not all that graceful. It is what it is, especially when holding a camera, a little bit more difficult, but nonetheless, we are in. So now that you are in, the seat is fixed here because it does fold down, it folds flat. And with that said, it's fixed, so you can't recline it or anything like that. Like, this is your sitting position. From a headspace perspective, there is a bunch, probably 5.5, 6 inches up above my head, and that's with the roof closed. And then up here, we've probably got a good 3 inches, I would say. You have your own vents located back here, as you can see, and then window switches and a couple of different charging ports down there. Let me get the camera down just a little bit lower so you can see those. And then seat back pockets with little nets, same thing on the doors. As far as the material goes, soft touch here, which is nice. And then this is like a kind of like rubberized type material. Last but not least, here in the center, you do have 2 cup holders and then an armrest. And of course, you can fold that up if you don't want it. Okay, testing getting in the front. We've got a grab handle here. And again, I do kind of use this little guy right here. I kind of put my foot on the edge. And then once it's on the edge, then I literally just pull myself up so I'm clear up above it. I generally put my other foot on, and then I just kind of snake my way in. So not to make it rocket science, but again, it does have like a lot of ground clearance, right? 11.6 inches, and you can definitely tell it is, if you're 5'9" like me, it's not the easiest thing to get in and out of. And it's fine, we can make jokes that I'm short, and that's okay. That is okay. But nonetheless, did want to at least show you kind of, it's up there for sure. Now that we are in here, let's go ahead and flip the camera around so you can see, straighten the steering wheel just a bit for you. See, it's got adaptive cruise control located right there. And then over on the left, you can go through the different menus here located on the screen. And then on the back of the steering wheel, well, you have shifters as well. But on the back of the steering wheel, if we put it right there, you can see the little buttons as well. Pretty similar on most Jeep, Dodge, Chrysler products for volume control and then seeking your track on the left. And then let's go ahead and move ourselves over to the right here. You do have a 12.3 inch screen, and it is very responsive. Like, as far as like clicking the buttons, like it literally is immediate as to how quick. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the forward facing camera. You can see my wheels are turned right now. It is crystal clear. This is really, really good quality. No surprise, because even on my 2019 Laramie truck that I had, it absolutely was crystal clear. So no surprise there that it's really, really clear. They've done a good job. Once again, no 360 camera, and that's probably because obviously you can remove the doors if you would like, and then your cameras would be gone. So again, that makes sense. You have mirror dimming there as well. Moving on down, you have physical buttons for all of your temperature controls, heated seats, and your heated steering wheel. Now, the only thing it doesn't have is ventilated seats. That's definitely a little bit surprising considering the six-figure price tag. Would have expected that. The other thing that I would expect, and I'm just going over here because it's not there, there's no memory seating. And that's very surprising for, again, a six-figure vehicle, right? Surprising there, and it is a power seat, so it's not like it couldn't be, they just didn't have it there for some reason. All right, so moving on, you do have the toggle for the exhaust, right? It has valves, so you can simply press it. The tone absolutely changes. I don't know if you can hear it, but the mic probably doesn't pick it up. You can hear it in person, no question. It definitely changes. Open to shut there. Now moving on down, you've got your window switches here in the middle. I believe the driver's only is one touch down, but none of them are one touch up. And that is really surprising there. That would be a very easy and nice convenient feature that they could have added, but it is not there. Now, of course, I do like the manual shift knobs here. So obviously you can go just like normal. Once again, just showing it off in reverse. That's what your camera looks like. And again, quite clear. And then over here, you can see you have 4 high auto, which is what it stays in, 4 high part-time, neutral, and 4 low. And then you also have a physical parking brake as well, which is definitely nice. Not too many vehicles have that anymore. A lot of times it's just pure electronic. And then up here, you get your different aux buttons. And then again, I told you, you can unconnect your sway bars if you would like. And then also your front and rear lockers are located there. Now, 2 cup holders there. And then if we pop this open, this is the kit there to remove the doors. And then you have a second little clasp that you can open up, and it is quite a good size, honestly. And you also have a USB. You could probably fit, I would say, 2 tissue boxes in there. And then as far as the glove compartment goes, it's definitely on the smaller side, real skinny there, as you can see, but it's still a little bit of storage space, which is good. And then up here, you have just a normal rear view mirror that is dimming. So nothing too crazy there. Up on here, this is a plastic for the visor, which again, kind of makes sense because it's a Jeep, but maybe could have used a slightly little bit more rubberized type material just to make it a little softer. But again, it's there. And then you also have the home link located there for your garage door opener. Now, my tester does have, I believe it's called the Sky One Touch is essentially what it's called. Nonetheless, it is literally, you press it and this is what it does. And this is super cool. This is a really, really nice feature. You don't have to mess with taking the top off. You don't have to store it, nothing. Like, it is just really, really nice. I'll go ahead and show you up there. And we'll show you back here. It's all open, as you can see. So, and then again, you can just go ahead and shut it by pressing the button and it will start shutting. Now, I think that's just about everything on the interior. You have power adjustment on your mirrors as well. Past that, I think that's just about everything. Again, the screen is nice. The only couple of things that I really, again, for the price tag, right? Like, this is not a cheap vehicle by any stretch of the imagination. I would have liked to have seen ventilated seats, and I would have liked to have seen memory seating. Those are 2 things that I really would have liked to seen. But I usually say I want to see an all digital dash, but for a Wrangler, I don't think I want to see that. Like, I like the rugged feeling. I like having some of that. The problem is, again, is the price tag in the sense. So like, I wouldn't even expect the cooled seats or the memory seating if it was like $35,000 less expensive. But since, again, it's up there in price, I would like to see that. And honestly, I've gone through and read comments on some of the other reviews, and I think a lot of you tend to agree with that as well. So really no surprise, and I don't blame you all because I kind of thought the same thing. And again, you'll see what I think on the drive here shortly, but this thing absolutely is a blast to drive, and it sounds incredible. So without further ado, let's go get this out on the road. As we get this 392 out on the road, my very first impression, again, was it actually scared me. And again, coming funny from a guy who straight piped an Audi R8 and among many other different cars, I just didn't expect it from a Jeep. And it was parked outside my garage, and I went out of my garage to obviously pull it inside. And of course I went ahead, because it was hot, and I went ahead and remote started it really quick just before I got in it. And I was coming right behind the vehicle whenever I remote started this thing, and holy, it scared me to death. But nonetheless, it is what it is, right? Sometimes you live and you learn, but it was a good scared to death. I was pleasantly surprised, and I don't know if my wireless mic is going to pick up the sound, which is why we just played a few revs for you. That way you could really hear this thing, but you can absolutely hear it. So let me just be quiet and let me just hit it a little bit. Listen, this is with the valves open. Yeah, that's a great American V8 sound, and it feels. So I have a 1991 Z28 Camaro, and it has nothing to do with the OEM or the brand. It has like a slight hum that you can almost hear running right underneath the console constantly, and that's exactly what this feels like. It feels way more modern, but it also still has that raw, rugged feel, and I think they've done a phenomenal job at mixing the two. I'm pleasantly surprised, because again, it's a fine line, right? Like, you want to have newer amenities. This is not a cheap vehicle, but you want it to be still a Jeep, right? You don't want it to turn into something just pure luxury, and it's not. Again, I think literally the only two things I would change is ventilated seats and memory seating. Past that, I don't think I would change anything else. They've done a really good job here. Now, again, not gonna really put my opinion on the price tag overall. I will leave that for you all to discuss, but nonetheless, they've done a really good job for what they have here. The sound, though, the sound is something that I just cannot get over. It sounds so good. And 0 to 60, again, coming in at about 4.5 to 5 seconds. And again, you have the four-wheel drive basically all the time. If you try to punch it around a turn, you'll hear the tires just because they're bigger. They'll squeal just a little bit. Speaking of which, here we go, watch. When you absolutely get on this thing, literally the whole front end, I'm sure the camera might even, like the lens might change where you can kind of see, the whole front end almost like lifts off the ground. It's actually not, but it definitely, you can feel the back end squatting, and that is definitely a fun feeling, especially in a Jeep Wrangler, because this is the last vehicle I would ever expect to have something like this. Now, we usually have three sound categories. You have wind noise, powertrain noise, and tire noise. And then we always test the suspension as well. We're coming up to the cattle guard. Let's go over that and test tire noise and suspension. Here we go. Suspension, it's an off-road vehicle, right? Like, that thing just went almost right over it. I moved just a little bit, absorbs quickly. It's good. No complaints there. Noise, also fairly quiet over that. Now, these tires, they're definitely present. You can hear the sound for sure, and they are bigger, so you kind of just float ever so slightly back and forth. Again, it's not bad, but you got to know what you're getting, right? Like, if you're not used to this type of vehicle, these type of tires, you're gonna be like, oh my goodness, this thing like kind of is floating, and it's just something you're gonna notice. Now, you get really used to it after being behind the wheel, but again, it still feels raw and rugged, and I absolutely love that. Now, the other sound category is wind noise. It's a Jeep. It is on the louder side of things. It's expected. Again, raw and rugged, and that's what you expect. Now, powertrain, once again, exhaust, it's loud, it's there, it's present. Now, the exhaust, it is nice. You can actually turn it off, or not off. How can you turn an exhaust off? You can shut the valves and make it quieter, and it does make a difference. It's not going to pick up on mic to where you can really tell. I can assure you there is a big difference in the two. Now, driving this on the freeway, again, noises increase just a little bit as well. A lot of vehicles don't in modern era, but again, raw and rugged. That's what this vehicle is. And for what you're getting, I do think it's very, very off-road capable. And again, it still has a lot of modern amenities. It feels very, very modern, all while having that rugged feel. And it's definitely a unique sensation. It's almost like it gives me the itch for a lot of these old, like a 69, 69 old muscle cars, like just bring them back and give us this modern stuff, but the raw feel to them. Like they would sell it just phenomenally well. And that's literally what this vehicle, that is what they have done. This is a retro old school Jeep, essentially, if you will. So done a good job there. Now, suspension's definitely on the soft side in the sense of turning. You wouldn't want to take a turn too fast. That's expected. If you expect to take a turn fast in this, I don't know what to say. That is an interesting take. Again, all normal. Everything falls in the category. And I'm going to beat a dead horse here, where I am most impressed 100%, is definitely, without question, the sound of the exhaust and the rugged feel. I love it. Like, I think it is really, really fun. Now, with that said, on the flip side, personally, I wouldn't want this to be my daily driver. I just wouldn't. I would want this to be my weekend toy. Like, Saturday's the sports car, Sunday's a Jeep, Monday through Friday, something a little bit more luxurious. Now, I'm not rich, so I don't have that much money to have that many expensive vehicles, but nonetheless, you get my point. It's definitely a vehicle that, for me, doesn't mean you can't, all right? Maybe you like it every single day, and that's fine. That's exactly, I'm just telling you, describing you what this vehicle is. But yeah, it's really, really well done. Now let's go ahead and touch on the blind spots here. Over to the left, not much of one. The pillar's fairly far forward. It's on the fatter side, but it's far forward. Over on the right, there's really windows for days. There's really no reason to have a blind spot there. And again, of course, it is equipped with blind spot monitoring if you were to need it. All right, we'll do a 0 to 60 here really quick. Oh my goodness, the front wheels come off the ground. Wow. Holy. Honestly, that's the first time I've pinned it. I've put 3/4 before, but I've never pinned it. That was the first time I pinned it. So, and the reason I do that is so you guys can get an honest, genuine reaction. That is an insane feeling in a Jeep. Now, again, I've owned 2017 NSX 0 to 60 with the downpipes and everything exhaust. It was like a 2.7 seconds. So, like, I understand what fast is for anyone new to my channel. But for a Jeep, this thing scoots, and the drama behind just lifting up is crazy. Like, let me just show you guys really quick. Like, let's just do this one more time, and we'll do one more take here. Ready, set, go. And no wheel spin, 0. It just kicks you right in the back. Oh my goodness, that's so crazy. Yeah, they've done a good job with the old-fashioned American V8, naturally aspirated. They've outdone themselves with this one. It's definitely a fun one. Now, hopefully you guys enjoyed today's video. Next video, 5 things to love, 5 things to improve. I do it every single week to keep it fair across all OEMs. So, without further ado, I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.